Hello students and welcome to the lecture. So students, till now we had covered the theory part of all the subjects, okay? And now it's a time to make a practice because practice makes a man perfect, okay? So that's why in this lecture we are going to start with the examples and solutions of various topics, okay? Because in this time we will make practice of already covered subjects, okay? Second, we will learn some new topics. Okay, so this is the thing which we are going to do. First, either we will make a practice of the subjects we had already covered. Second, we are going to learn some new topics. Okay, of our questions, I will provide you 40, 30, 20, and 15 seconds respectively. Okay, depending upon the time of the question, depending upon the type of the question, and how much time should it take. Okay, so let's start this session. And the first question we have is, the ancient city of Mohenjo-daro is located in which present day country? India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal. For this type of question, 40 seconds I'm granting you and your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. The time's up. The correct answer is B. Mohenjo-daro is currently located at B. So if we talk about the Mohenjo-daro, then we know that it is a part of Harappan civilization, which is famously known as Indus Valley civilization. Okay, and if we make a map of India like this, this is the North India. This is the area of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, then we have Pakistan as our neighbor on this side. Okay, so Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Chundaro, these are the major sites of Indus Valley civilization which lies here. Or you can say the mostly concentrated area of the Indus Valley civilization lies in Pakistan today, and some of the area lies in India. Okay, but they all are a part of Indus Valley civilization. Okay, I hope now you have got the answer. Let's move forward. Second question we have, the Harappan civilization was characterized by well-planned cities with sophisticated temples and places, roads and highways, drainage systems, pyramids and tombs. 40 seconds. Again, I am providing you to answer this question and your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. The time's up. The correct answer is C. Okay, so basically if we talk about the option 1, temples and palaces, then remember there were no temples in the Indus Valley. Okay. Second, there were no palaces except large structure of Mohenjo-daro. Okay, there were no palace found during the excavation of the Indus Valley civilization. However, there was some large structure found in the Mohenjo-daro, but we couldn't say that whether it was a palace or not. Okay, if we talk about the roads and highways, then yes, they have the dendritic pattern. Okay, roads and drainage cutting each other at 90-degree angle. This thing I had already told you in the previous lecture. Okay, but if we talk about the pyramids and tombs, then these are belong to the Egyptian civilization primarily, not with the Indus Valley. Right? So basically, the correct answer should be the C, because here we are asked to show the main characteristics. Okay, so the main characteristics was drainage system. Okay, not roads and highways. So that's why the most appropriate answer here is C. Okay, now let's move forward. Okay, third question we have. Vedic texts of ancient India are divided into 4 collections known as Purans, Upanishad, Samhitas, Brahmanas. 30 seconds I am providing you to answer this question, and your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up. So the correct answer is C. Samhitas. Okay. So basically, if we talk about the Vedic texts, then they begin with the Aryans who came and bring Vedic civilization. Okay. And if we talk about the origin of the Aryans, then there are 2 main theories. First is our Max Muller theory. Max Muller said that they belong to Central Asia. Okay. And the second famous theory is Bal Gangadhar Tilak's theory. He said that they are of the Arctic origin. And if you remember, I had told you we generally supported Max Muller because of the Bose-Haskoi inscription. Because of the Bose-Haskoi inscription, which found in Asia Minor, Turkey, or Turkey you can say, as per the current name of the country, it's Turkey. Alright, so this was the origin of the Aryans. It's a general revision. Okay, so basically they wrote Vedic texts which are divided into Samhitas, or you can say these are the collections of hymns and poems of Vedas. Okay, and if we talk about the Vedas, then we have 4 Ved: Rig Ved, Yajur Ved, Samved, and Atharved. Alright, now let's move forward. The fourth question we have. The ancient Indian script used during the Indus Valley civilization remains undeciphered. It is known as Devanagari, Brahmi, Kharosthi, and Indus script. For this type of question, 30 seconds I am providing you. Okay, it's 30. And your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up. The correct answer is D. However, it was little kind of easy question because if you look here, Indus Valley is written down and here Indus script is written down. So it is very easy to match it from here. Okay. But if we talk about the other scripts we are seeing here, first is a Devanagari script. So this is mainly concentrated in southern areas. Okay. In the southern areas, Devanagari script was mainly concentrated. Okay. If we talk about the Brahmi, then it is concentrated mainly in Ashokan inscriptions. Mainly in Ashokan inscriptions. Okay. Similarly, Kharosti. Kharosti was also used in Ashokan inscriptions. Okay. But the Indus Valley is used in the, Indus script is used in the Indus Valley. And why it is undeciphered? Because instead of letters, it contains signs which are nearly about 400 to 440 in numbers. Okay. So if you want to read what is written down in the Indus script, then basically you have to learn these 400 signs and their meaning. Okay. So that's why their script is undeciphered. Okay. Now let's move forward. Fifth question we have, the ruler Ashoka was associated with which ancient Indian dynasty? Gupta, Maurya, Chola, Kushan. 30 seconds you have to answer this question and your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up. So the correct answer is B. It was Mauryan dynasty. Okay. So basically, if we talk about all these dynasties we are seeing here, then first start with the Gupta dynasty. This dynasty was established by Shri Gupta. He was the founder. The main rulers were Chandragupta, thereafter Samudragupta, Chandragupta II, who was also known as Vikramaditya. Okay. And then Kumargupta. Last one is a Sakandagupta. Okay. If we talk about the Mauryan dynasty, Chandragupta Maurya was the founder. Okay. Thereafter Bindusar. And then Ashoka. Alright. So if we talk about the Chol dynasty, then basically Chol was belong to the Sangam age, which is related with the Tamil Nadu. Okay. So basically the Chol was belong to the Sangam period, which is an important period of Tamil Nadu. Or you can say for Tamil literature. Okay. And if we talk about the founder, then their founder was Vijayalaya. Okay. Thereafter, the Kushan dynasty. The main ruler of the Kushan dynasty was Kanishka. Alright. So, this is all about theirs. Let's move forward. Okay, the sixth question we have. The famous rock cut temples of Ellora are located in which Indian state? Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan or Karnataka? 30 seconds you people have to answer this question and your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up. The correct answer is B. So, Ellora is located basically in Maharashtra. Okay. So, basically, if we talk about the Elloras, then they are basically carved out in the Western Ghat Hills. Western Ghats Hill. Okay. And they are total 34 in number. Okay. Out of which 7 caves are belong to the Hinduism. Okay. Thereafter 12 belongs to the Buddhism and 5 belong to the Jainism. Okay. So these are the main division of these caves. Okay. And if we talk about the founder of these caves, then the founder is Rashtrakutas. Rashtrakutas rulers are basically considered as the founder of this state. Okay. And thereafter, similar caves were the Ajanta caves. Okay. Which are total 29 in number. Okay. Out of which 25 are known as vihars or residential caves. Okay. And only 4 are the chaityas, or you can say prayer halls. Alright. So this is about the Ajanta and Ellora. Alright. Both lies at the same place, Western Ghat Hills. When we talk about the Ajanta, then they are belong to the Buddhism. 29 in total number. 25 for vihars or residential. 4 for chaityas or prayer halls. When we talk about the Ellora, then they are a mixture of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. 34 is the total number. 17 are for the Hinduism. 12 are for the Buddhism. 5 are for the Jainism. And Rashtrakutas are considered to be the founder of these caves. Okay. Now, let's move forward. 7th question we have. The Battle of Kalinga, fought by Emperor Ashoka, resulted in his conversion to Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism, Zoroastrianism. Okay. 30 seconds you have to answer this question. And your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up. So the correct answer is A. Buddhism. Okay. So basically Ashoka, who was the Mauryan Empire, or you can say he was a Mauryan emperor, who fought a battle of Kalinga with Kalinga dynasty. Okay. And he won this battle. But somehow he was not happy because he has seen so much bloodshed, so much destruction. Okay. And then he met Upagupta, who was the Buddhist monk. Okay. And after meeting with Upagupta, he converted into the Buddhism. Okay, and then he replaced his policy of Bahari Gosha, which was basically the war policy, to Dharam Gosha, which was basically the religious policy. So you can see he decided not to go into the war with someone, okay, after this battle of Kalinga. Alright, and he changed his Bahari Gosha war policy with the Dharam Gosha religious policy after meeting with the Upagupta. Okay, so now I think that you have got the overview. Alright, now let's move forward. The 8th question we have: the Iron Pillar located in Delhi is associated with which ancient Indian ruler? Chandragupta Maurya, Ashoka, Samudragupta or Chandragupta II? 30 seconds you have to answer this question and your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up. So correct answer is D. It is associated with the Chandragupta II. Okay, so if we talk about this question a little bit, then Chandragupta Maurya, he was the founder of Mauryan dynasty. Ashoka, about him we have talked. Now there is one thing which I would like to tell you. Samudragupta, who was a Gupta ruler, he was also considered as the Indian Napoleon by V.A. Smith, because he had fought various battles and he has won most of them. Okay, and also he was the only king to be shown as coins on which he is playing Veena. Okay, and if we talk about Chandragupta II, then he was also known as the Vikramaditya. Okay, and Prabhavati Gupta was his daughter who made various land grants. Okay, now let's move forward. The 9th question we have: the ancient University of Nalanda, a renowned center of learning, was situated in present-day Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, or Odisha. 30 seconds you have to answer and your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up. So the correct answer is Bihar. So Nalanda Mahavira is basically lies at Bihar. Alright. Now let's move forward. 10th question we have: the ancient Indian epic Ramayana is attributed to the Vyas, Valmiki, Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, who was basically the writer of Ramayana. Okay, 30 seconds you people have to answer this question and your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up. So, Maharishi Valmiki was the writer of Ramayana. Alright. And Vyas is basically the writer of Mahabharata. Alright. Now let's move forward. 11th question we have. The cave paintings of Ajanta and Ellora depict scenes primarily related to Hindu mythology, Buddhist stories, Jain teachings, and Greek legends. 30 seconds you have to answer this question. Your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up. The correct answer is B. Okay. So, however, there were caves and temples attributed to the Hindu mythology, to the Jain teachings also, but primarily they are focused on Buddhist legend. Various paintings are basically designed to show the scenes of the Buddhist mythology or the Buddhist stories, which is also known as Jataks. Alright, now let's move forward. The 12th question we have. The Mauryan dynasty reached its peak under the reign of which ruler? Bindusar, Ashoka, Chandragupta Maurya, Samudragupta. 20 seconds. I think it's enough time to answer this question. And your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20. The time's up. The correct answer is B. Okay. In this lecture, we had discussed about him many times, and I had mentioned that he was the person who fought the Kalinga War also. Kalinga and the Mauryans were basically the two most powerful dynasty of that times. Okay. So, the Mauryans waged a war over Kalinga, in which the Mauryans got declared as a victorious people. But after see the destruction, bloodshed, the Ashoka shifted his war policy to the Dharma policy. Alright, now let's move forward. 13th question we have. The Gupta dynasty in ancient India often referred to as the Golden Age, because now it's a very easy question. 30 seconds I think is enough time to answer, and your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The correct answer is C. So if you remember, I had mentioned about it in the previous lectures that Gupta period is basically referred as the Golden Age because of the remarkable achievements in art, science and literature. Okay, so that's why it is called the Golden Age, and it is the direct answer of this question. Alright, now let's move forward. The 14th question we have is, the ancient Indian mathematician Aryabhatta is known for his work on geometry, algebra, trigonometry, all of the above. Very simple question. 20 seconds I'm giving you to answer this question, and your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20. The time's up. So the correct answer is D. All of the above. So Aryabhatta was basically present during the Gupta period, and Gupta period is well known for the achievements in the mathematics also. So the Aryabhatta has worked upon geometry, algebra and trigonometry. Okay, so the correct answer is all of the above. Okay, now let's move forward. Last question we have. Ancient Indian treatise on statecraft and politics, Arthashastra is attributed to Chanakya, Kautil, Ashoka, Samdragupta, Chandragupta Maurya. 20 seconds you have to answer this question and your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. The time's up. The correct answer is A. Chanakya Kautilya. Okay. He was basically the advisor of Chandragupta Maurya, who was the founder of the Mauryan dynasty. Okay. So Chanakya was the correct answer, who wrote the book Arthashastra based on statecraft and politics. So dear students, in this lecture, we had covered the 15th question of the ancient history. We had make a practice on it. We had revised some topics which we had already covered, and also we have learned some new topics. So in the next lecture, we will proceed with the 15th more questions on the ancient history. Till then, just revise all the facts and figures we have discussed in this lecture and be ready for the another lecture. Okay. With this note, let's end this lecture and thank you.